In this section of the course, what we're going to do is learn about TDD. Now, this stands for Test-Driven Development. And what it means is a process where we write our tests before we write the feature. So let's actually look at an example for this. So let's say in our application, we have a button. And what we want to do is when a user clicks on this button, we want to change the color of this button to purple. Very, very simple feature. And of course, we have to go into our code and code it out. Now, if we were following test-driven development, we wouldn't go right ahead and code out the feature itself. What we would do instead is write a test testing that feature. So right over here, this square box symbolizes the test that we are initially going to write. We're not going to write the feature, we're going to write the test first. Now, because the feature doesn't exist, well, that test is going to fail. And as you can see here, we have a red failing test. And then the next process is to go ahead and code out that feature. And once we code out that feature and it's behaving the way that we want it to, well, that test should pass. That same test that we wrote over here should be green, meaning it has passed. And that is test-driven development. We write the test first, and then we write the feature, and then the test should pass. Now, this is also known as red-green testing because initially your tests are going to be red, meaning that they are failing. And then you write your feature, then they turn green, meaning that they are passing. Now, why in the world would we ever care about test-driven development? Well, there's actually a few reasons. Testing becomes a part of development. A lot of the time, testing feels like a chore, especially if you leave it at the very end. You write your feature, then you're like, oh my goodness, now I have to go ahead and write a bunch of tests for this. When you're doing test-driven development, you're very cognizant of the test, and testing actually becomes a part of the development process, which is really, really important. Another one is that you write cleaner code. It's actually a known fact that when you apply test-driven development, developers tend to write the smallest unit to make that test pass. Whereas if they don't have a test, they tend to have more code, more complexity, and it just becomes a little bit unnecessary. And lastly, it reduces bugs. When you follow test-driven development, you actually end up writing more tests. And of course, the more tests you have, the less likely that you're going to have defects and bugs in your application. And that right there is why a lot of people encourage test-driven development.